کاوش مدیا.
Let's talk about an agreement between Iran and China recently revealed that there's a very large document that was circulated between the two, and they've come to agreement about. It hasn't been formally approved, but basically is a 25-year cooperation agreement between Beijing and Tehran, which involves trade, investment, military cooperation, Iranian discounts on oil. Iran has supplied in the past oil to China. China relies on imports for about 75% of their energy demand. So having Iran as a partner in energy supplies is important to China. And I think this is also important strategically in the geostrategic context. This has been kind of a troubling blow to the Trump administration's maximum pressure campaign, which Secretary Pompeo set out after the Trump administration left the Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA, and he outlined, I think it was a dozen or a baker's dozen of points that Iran had to live up to get back on the good side of the United States in terms of sanctions, relief, and so forth. But in response to that maximum pressure campaign, Iran had their own unnamed but similar campaign of maximum resistance, that they were not going to kowtow, as Tom said earlier, using that phrase. They weren't going to kowtow to the United States and push back. And we saw a military conflict erupt in January when the United States killed Qasem Soleimani in Iraq, and then the Iranians attacked bases in northern Iraq with very heavy surface-to-surface missiles. So,
what were the options that Iran had? I mean, we and the Europeans basically have been trying to isolate Iran for a very, very long time, decades. I would think, the Iranians are reaching out and the Chinese are reaching out. And this is not just an isolated incident on the part of the Chinese. They're making these kinds of arrangements and deals all over the world, including buying.
This is a particularly sensitive one, though, because I think aligning with Iran is really tweaking the United States at a point of given the American position in the Middle East, even if that is in a process of retrenchment, it's still a very important, vital American interest, Persian Gulf and the rest.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند.